Hey guys, welcome back to the Reality Kingdom where we put the real in reality or whatever, period.
Yeah.
Today we are here to give the game reviews of Danielle and Chicken George from BB7. And to do that, I'm joined with Drake Ryder and Josiane to help me. How are you guys feeling tonight?
I mean, I'm happy to be here. It's my first time. I was supposed to be here last week, but I was so sick, you guys. So I'm still recovering. Give me grace. But I'm emulating Mother herself, the queen of all queens, Miss Danielle. Maybe Drake will serve Chicken George on this panel instead.
Maybe, you never know what I got in the bag. I might have some tin foil, some like suits. I could be blue at any point. You never know.
Maybe pull up a chicken necklace.
Actually, we stop. But this is a travesty. Like, we officially lost a mother. Chicken George has been shot down, and it is actually so terrible that this has happened. But not. We lost Danielle Reyes. That's insane.
That is crazy.
Oh, well, let's get him up then. So, Josiane, this is the first time you're doing it with us. How are you enjoying BB7 so far on the rewatch? How are you feeling?
It's weird because I hold it in high regards, like in general, just maybe off of nostalgia. I obviously wasn't watching Big Brother when I was 5, but I will say there was a level that I held like BB7, and watching it back, I feel like a little bit more like older, a little bit more strategic. The slurs being thrown around left, right, and center. The R word is crazy. It made me look at Kaser a little bit differently, to be honest with you, which is crazy because I really do love that man. But like, I don't know, he did some things, and I just felt like he was being a little bit hypocritical. It was annoying to watch Chilltown kind of like run things from the start. And like, I know we're supposed to talk about each player, but there's no way you can talk about every single player without talking about Chilltown. And I find that that's so annoying because it's clearly a steamroll, and I didn't remember it in that way, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like coming into this season, I was like, this is probably like a top 5 season to me. I've lost nostalgia because this is the first season I ever rewatched when I got into Big Brother. It's like I went on YouTube and Big Brother All Stars was there. So but like, is it still top 5 for me? Maybe, but it really depends on how much you like Will and Boogie, I think, at the end of the day. Because the season is just them running circles around everyone. And it's like, maybe I'm like, do I underestimate Will as a player? Like, maybe he really is like the one of those top dogs, like top 3, top 2, because like he's doing his shit on this season. And we got a couple episodes. We got one episode we talk about Will's game, but it's like, damn.
There's a lot to talk about.
Honestly, sorry. I was just going to say he's in high regards for me in general, but I think he might be better than Derek, dare I say? Because Dan's my number 1. You can't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Dan will never be like, no one's going to take that away from King. But I was like, maybe Dr. Will is second before Derek.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's like a real debate now because I feel like when they did the BB2 rewind, I did like the Big Brother 2 live feed research and more of a deep dive. I was like, okay, Will isn't all that I thought he was. And then I go into this season, I'm like, maybe he's more than I thought he was. Like, why is he doing all this? Because I know some people will talk about the pregame and all, but if you get into the feeds, he's so actively playing that I don't think he needed a pregame.
Maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna be real though. For me, on this season, I feel like the rewatch kind of brought down my opinions of the season. I think it's not because I dislike Chilltown or whatever. I think they are entertaining. I just like my seasons to have like some more dynamics than this one does, because it seems like very much the same thing. You get BB6 winning everything for the first half, and then Chilltown kind of control everything for the second half. There doesn't seem to be that many twists and turns this season. Like, I feel like maybe this season could have really benefited from a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Okay, I think what's frustrating is, had season 6, the season 6 alliance, taken the shot at Chilltown, I think the game changes dramatically. So it's like I blame season 6 because the entire time everyone's going to them and saying, well, like they're targeting you. They know that they're coming after them. and yet they dismantle them in such a manner that is so slow and like it like deteriorating them bit by bit by bit. But it's like they've been telling you since day one this is their agenda, and the fact that they never took the shot to me was crazy. Like I kind of blame season 6 for the way season 7 shakes up.
Yeah, there's no one else to blame. To be honest. And Chilltown does do work with season 6, but it's not like they're doing the best work of all time. They're all still worried about Chilltown. Every
Mhm.
H like maybe we should do it. They're gonna come for us. No, we got to get out season 5. It's like, why are we thinking like this?
Every time, and always trying to justify it and always blaming it on everyone else. And I'm just like, you know what, you guys, you set up your own failure. So, but we're not talking about any BB6 members today, thankfully. We got a nice break. We're here to start talking about Mother Danielle Reyes. So, before we get started into BB7, tell me, what was your impression of Danielle from BB3, and how do you think that would translate into this game?
I'm trying to think if I put myself in the mindset back then. Obviously, legend, robbed icon. Like I think Danielle played one of the best games ever on Big Brother 3. Definitely one of the best losing games of all time. And I would think coming into the season, I'm like, she's so screwed. She has no chance because I feel like the casual audience didn't like her. Even the live feed audience didn't like her. When you read this, these people do not like Danielle. I don't think the players, like the past players, like Danielle. Her own cast doesn't like her. I don't even know if Lisa liked her, who she took to the end, took her to the end. I was like, man, I think she's screwed because I feel like she probably has the biggest target out of non-winner on the cast.
I mean, I kind of agree. I think this season, what's interesting, and this is the, I guess, downfall of a returnee season or an all season or all-star season rather, is the fact that people have preconceived notions of you and you can't change that. Like I didn't play this game to you, but you've watched me play. And Danielle is considered one of the most cutthroat players of that era. Even to this day, I will say, I think. And so I think she went in with the huge disadvantage of her reputation preceding her. And I don't know how much it's been talked about, but even in the show, like when Kaser puts up Nokomis, which lame, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. He says your reputation precedes you, her being crucial to the back door. I think Danielle suffers from this, and I think it's very evident in week 1 and how things shake out because she feels alone. And she didn't do anything necessarily crazy in week 1 to feel that way. I think people had these preconceived notions of her, and that resulted in the behaviors that we saw in week 1. Whereas if you go in a game where you don't know anyone, then you're kind of on equal playing field, equal playing ground. So I think that was a disadvantage, but her reputation is warranted because she is one of the smartest players that we've seen play.
Agreed. I love that you said that she went in completely alone, because that is also kind of true literally. You know how so many of the cast pre-game this season. Danielle is one that didn't really. Like I've seen her say elsewhere, like when she's talking about BB22, that she didn't pre-game because she takes these rules very seriously. It was only James who called her and was talking about, hey, are you on the season? That she kind of gave him a wink that she was, but never outright said anything. So she's walking in completely fresh. Do you think in a world there is a way that by not pre-gaming, you could put yourself in an okay position?
I don't know. I feel like I'm always on the input like, hey, if you know other people are pre-gaming, you better start pre-gaming because I don't think you should come here with any type of disadvantage. Like the moment I learn one person's pre-gaming, it's like, maybe I should. I don't want the first HOH to be someone I've never talked to, and all of a sudden I'm easy on, especially if you're someone as big of a target as Danielle Reyes. But also, I can see the world where if she does pregame, she could be treated like James in the house, where everyone's like, "Well, we can't trust her because we know what she's doing. We saw how many people she emailed because what year is this? Like they're doing like AWL and stuff. Like they're out here emailing and shit. Like you're on MySpace, like you have to put in effort to pregame. It's not an Instagram DM no more. So I don't know, but I just feel like she could have pre-game to at least season 3 or try to like mend those bonds with like Marcellus before going in.
I don't know how I feel entirely about it. I think there can be disadvantages and advantages too. I'm going to make it an art or like art like manifesting in life. I'm going to compare it to an org, right? I've played orgs for a long time, whatever. When you play with a cast of people you know, it's hard. It's harder than playing with people you don't know. especially relationship wise. People feel like you automatically owe them, or like they owe you or whatever, and it gets very complicated very quickly. So I think having a pregame and going in with an alliance benefits you because people already feel like you've now gained trust, or you've gained an upper hand compared to someone who doesn't. But also in the pregame, if things happen where it's like there's tension, it can cause a divide, and then you have people actively going against you. So I think it's a double-edged sword. I think there's something good about it in the sense of like, for a player, I'm not talking about for the game itself, for you to know that you're going in with allies and you can trust them immediately and you don't have to do the awkward first few days and like find your positioning. But I also think like if people know about it, or if people don't trust you and they feel like they're already sides, like you kind of get into murky waters. So I see it both as an advantage and a disadvantage. In her case, I feel like it's a disadvantage, but you know, it could have
Yeah.
been worse.
It could have been worse because the only person that truly seems to have something out against her is Marcellus, but she also gets benefited from people like an Allison or Diane who were fans of her on their season, or like James, for instance, who were like, we want to work with you because you're one of the best. And so she is in an interesting position. However, she squanders that very quickly when Jace and Janelle win the HOH, and Danielle is the first person to bring up the possibility of them. What happens if they disagree? What happens then? She keeps it very open ended. However, Allison runs with this, tells the entire house, and says, we need to do this so we can have the numbers to evict Janelle. She even tells Jace, who tells Janelle, and bada bing, bada boom, there they go on the block. What do we feel about this?
Sometimes good players make bad moves, and she made a bad move. If she's nominated week one, even without this, there's a high chance. But this definitely sealed her fate, because I do feel like her, Allison, and Nokomis for some reason came into the season with the narrative like, oh, they're just cutthroat strategists that we gotta get out at some point. So I do see this, that she's still targeted early on, but this definitely sealed it.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it was that crazy of a conversation, right? Like, if you're thinking about things all on all sides, like, let's be real. If I come into a house, right, and the only person I know hates me, right? We're talking, we saw in Marcellus's exit interview, he was angry towards her and held resentment from her from that season until season 7. That's like 3-4 years, right? That's kind of crazy. I'm not shading Marcellus. I'm just saying that's crazy to be that angry to someone. So you don't know anyone, and you know that there's a core group of 4 players, 3 of which were in an alliance, are still friends. They just got off the season together. I too would be asking, okay, well, if we want them to go on the block, what if question mark, question mark, question mark? And she's not like she went and she said, we need to force Jace to do this. It's Allison who went and ran with it. And I think that's what the issue lies. It's because Allison is messy. Like, the way she went about it was so messy, so chaotic. If she would have held that conversation to 1 or 2 people, had it, I don't know, unravel in a different way, we don't see the results that we see. But because Allison's there working out in front of everyone in front of the pool, oh, like, maybe what if we just put 2 in front of Jace, and like, it was a mess. Like, it was a mess, and it was like really poorly done. And I think Danielle gets a big disadvantage from it when it really isn't her fault. She didn't say we, if anything, she says, oh, we should tell Janelle. We should tell Janelle. Like, if anything, she's trying to help you out, girl. Like, I just feel like I blame Allison more than I blame Danielle for asking a question.
Yeah.
Do you think perhaps maybe she should have confided this theory into someone else?
Chicken George?
Well, okay, let's be honest. Like, can we be real for a second? I'm really not trying to shade Chicken George. But
you'll have plenty of time for that later.
I don't think he's the most strategic chicken in the coop. I don't know. Me personally. So, like, maybe she shouldn't have said that to Allison. But to be fair, Allison at that point seemed like her best ally. Like, if we're being real. So, like, who else is she supposed to? Maybe, like, you could argue maybe Nokomis, but we saw that Nokomis even voted to evict Danielle. So really, was that allyship really there? Like I can't blame her for thinking that Allison could, reel it in. Like who should she have told then? In your opinion?
I think like
I don't know. If I was thinking maybe a Diane would have been a little bit more cautious with it. Maybe
I think maybe Erica. Like if anyone like
and
both like
Erica.
Was in a position in relationship to be doing that is my question.
Yeah, because I don't know week one, because her and Erica do become really close, but I'm trying to think of week one, what is the relationship? Because Erica's with Marcellus, so Alice maybe this is not a bad thought to have. It's a rational when you like get to a game, there's a new twist. It's like what happens if so happens. I just think maybe Allison is maybe the worst person of all time because she's going to. I think actually Dr. Will's probably the worst person. But I think if you don't want this to spread and get back on you, you definitely can't tell Allison because she's going to tell everyone. This is a conversation you have with the producers. Yeah, this with the producers, the DR. Like, what happens if this happens? So maybe just Jace.
I don't know. So this BB6 are like absolutely not. They nominate her against Allison. However, after this, the sides pretty much form. Danielle gravitates back towards BB6 because of her connection to James, and Allison goes with the other side of the house in terms of voting wise. So when Janelle wins the power of veto, Danielle doesn't realize this, but Janelle was actively considering using it on Danielle so that she could nominate George in her place and have an easier time evicting Allison. And as we see as the week goes on, there is a full-on flip and a flip back this week that she could have entirely prevented. So I would have personally liked Danielle to feel out Janelle a little bit more in using the veto, but maybe she didn't know or she didn't want to risk it. What do you think?
It's hard. Like, it's hard for me to say something. It's week one, right? And I think week one is the formula of you don't want too much blood on your hands. You want to do what's easy, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So if the HOH nominates me on week one, granted, I would fight like hell. Like, don't even tempt me. Like, I'm not, if you put me on the block, like, I will be in your room. Like, hello, DW on your ass. Like, hello.
With the doorbell.
I can't block me because I can't read. That's what I would be serving. But I can understand her also being like, okay, well, this is the same HOH who put me up. She thinks that I'm going against her because I asked the question. So I can understand why she might be hesitant to be like, okay, I'm not going to waste my breath. Even though I think that's like a bad idea in general. Like, I can understand someone being like, well, it's not worth going to the HOH who just put me up on week one to get veto use. Like, you're not really backdooring someone in this world. And so I get it, but like, I get why she didn't do it. But at the end of the day, you should always fight and try and talk to the HOH, even if they did put you up.
Yeah, and I don't think she was thinking this in the moment, but I think her staying on the block is good for her long-term game, knowing that she ends up staying. Because I think what we quickly learn is her and like Will are the two best people at threat management, where they like lower their threat level. And I think if she gets the veto used on her, she becomes more associated with season 6. And there's talks about how she's with season 6, and she's Danielle Reyes. Like she's obviously with them now. Like I think this is what's probably best for her long-term game is staying on the block and getting the votes to stay.
Okay, I see that. You're right, because she could see herself as more of the mastermind from BB3. But this way, maybe she presents herself in a new light because she never even got nominated on BB3. So you could have a really good point there. All right. So when she and Allison are locked on the block, Danielle immediately gets a head start on campaigning, whereas Allison kind of waits a few days for some reason. She doesn't reveal, when people ask who she'll nominate, though, she kind of doesn't say anything because Danielle's really got a different mindset this season. Whereas with BB3, she would lie left, right, and center. We saw how that went out with the jury. So this time she's being a little bit more secretive and discreet. So everyone else doesn't really know where she stands, and they just end up lumping her with James. So then very quickly, the campaign to get rid of either Allison or Danielle becomes anti-BB6 or pro-BB6, with Danielle obviously being pro-BB6. How do you feel about this? Do you think this is the right way to go about this?
I think this is a question of like, do y'all think it's better to like lie, or do you think it's better to be cagey with your information? Because I feel like it might be better to be lie, like just lie and deal with the consequences later. Because if you're cagey with your information, like we see this all the time where people get nominated or they don't like bring you into plans or ideas because like they don't share anything. Like you could be cagey with some people, but I think you have to be open with others. And But
I
also, I'm a
mean,
liar. I like
I
to lie.
disagree with your take, I fear. I think I say this all the time. I get really annoyed in Big Brother when people just lie for no reason. Like it serves them actually no long-term purpose. Like when a lawyer comes in the house and they're like, well, I'm gonna lie about my profession and say this. I don't care what your profession is. You could be a janitor or an astronaut in NASA. It doesn't matter to me. If we're in this game and we're in this house and you're doing something better than me, if you're a threat, I don't really care about your profession. So for me, I just find lying unnecessarily serves them nothing. And the thing is that the moment you become labeled a liar, it's hard to pull that back. Like you can't take a lie back. Once it's out there, it's out there. And if people catch you in a lie, then you lose their trust. Like I think the thing about Big Brother and Survivor, if I compare the two for a moment, is I feel like in Survivor there's a little bit more grace and leniency in lying. Like I find like they give them a little bit more grace in that world, whereas in Big Brother, I don't feel like it's the same. Maybe it's the fact that like there isn't an HOH and you're coming to a decision as a group and as a unit, so like there's no power structure as
I think
much.
they cast different people.
Okay, T. And
Yeah.
mayhaps. But like even old school Survivor, I feel like there's more leniency in lying than there is in Big Brother. And in that regard, like there's not much you can base trust off of. Like I think what's interesting about Survivor is like your vote is your vote and it's like the most powerful thing. Whereas in Big Brother, it kind of gets like diminished because there's vetoes and there's POVs and then you have battle of the block. So I just feel like if you're gonna lie, like it better be something like really worth lying. And her this week being like, I'm gonna nominate these two people in the six alienates four people in the house, and then it also puts her in danger of like not getting votes. Or if she says, I'm gonna put these two people up and she has no intention to, then it's like causing issues for no reason. Like I just don't think it's smart in this moment for her to lie. I would rather her approach be a little bit different but still be cagey. Like I think there's a way to be honest in a way that still puts you in a good light. And I think that would have been the move rather than lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because like useless lying, like always gets someone caught up. I just think I like think of myself as a player. I'd rather you lie to me than be cagey with me. But I think that's just a problem with me as an individual.
But then if you find out that they lie to you,
I
then
wouldn't
what?
care.
Oh,
I bet we're playing big.
I don't know about that. I
I
don't
bet
know.
You have to keep that in mind.
I bet you lied to me. Like I guess I can't like.
Okay,
you.
everyone,
Like,
lie to
I
me
just
now. Everyone stop lying.
I would just
Yeah, everyone in
that's
org
just
would
kind of how
rate.
I view it. It's like if you lie to me, what am I can't really do nothing. You already did it. So it's like, but like if you're cagey with me,
But I feel like that implies so much more. Like if someone lies to me and I find out, mama, it's over. Because like, what was the reason? Like, what was it? What was the point?
yeah. I just also it is week 1 though. You shouldn't be. You are right. She shouldn't be going out lying on week 1 because that can't catch up to her, especially with her reputation coming in.
Well,
Yes.
And she has Allison to do that.
yeah, exactly. So that leads on to my next point. Although you guys say maybe there is some benefit to lying, Allison's the one who lies way too much. It all catches up with her, and then all the progress what Diane and Boogie did trying to get her to stay all just comes crumbling down because no one can trust her anymore. For example, this deal with Danielle and George that's get made. They make a deal to never nominate each other or vote against each other for the entire season. However, Allison makes a lie that gets George to distrust it, and very quickly, Erica and Janelle are able to flip the votes back, and Danielle is able to stay this week. So it does work. And she also does name a target. She says, you know what? Because there's more pressure being applied, I'm going to target Jace as the other HOH who can't vote, also has a Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance. Big enough threat to people where people want to keep me. I think she does pick up the pace towards the end of the week and does get to stay.
I do think that's a great strategy as a nominee, to be honest. Is like don't say who your 2 nominees are. Say like I have a target. Like specifically that one target doesn't matter because then there'll always be times in the house where people will be like, oh, I don't need to get rid of Danielle. She's targeting Jace for me. We could put someone else up, and they'll always remember this. Like just have a target, even if it's a fake target. Be like, this is my target. I need this person gone.
And I love that point. I think there's something beneficial of someone being like, well, this person's going after this person, so I don't have to worry about them. And I think it's so smart. Like saying 2 people makes 2 people and their allies look at you, right? Whereas if you say, I'm going to target this one person, especially if they're kind of on their own or on an island or whatever, like it benefits them a lot more. And so like I agree that it's just a target versus like I would nominate these two people is always the better move.
Agreed. Well done, Danielle. You saved yourself. You clutched it. So for week 2, week 3, she kind of goes back onto the radar. You know, she's making good bonds. She's talking with everyone. It's good progress to build up to something. So we start with week 2. I don't even have that much to say. She is safe from Kesa because now she's attached to James and BB6 want to protect her. She's part of their floaters kind of attached to them, affiliated with BB6. When Nokomis and Diane are nominated, she immediately gives her word to protect Diane. She's like, Diane, I'm going to protect you this week. So when BB6 waver all week with the vote, they can't blame Danielle as much for not wanting to get rid of Diane because she's already given her word and they respect that for her, which I love. Get ahead of the curve. And she's keeping Diane, obviously, so to keep the sides kind of equal. Nokomis is also another affiliate to BB6. She wants that gone. And I think that's about it. Yeah.
I love Danielle in this week because like both of those people did in fact vote for her. And I love that she's not like petty about it. There is something so weird sometimes. Like I think people get so rigid and stuck in their ways when they find out that someone voted against them. Like, yes, it's valid. And when you're HOH, you can put them up on the block. But if you're not in power and there's so much that can happen, expect the unexpected, I think it's worth trying to make people more of your allies and more of your enemies. And like, she didn't have to give her work to Diane because Diane definitely did vote for her. You get what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
I think this was a very good example of what good gameplay is for someone who can put their ego aside and their pride aside.
Yeah, especially most of the time when people vote against you and you stay, that means you have majority of the votes to stay, and those people are the minority, which means you could pick them up. Unless they're voting you out for personal reasons, they probably feel betrayed by other people for not voting with them. So that way you have the opportunity to go pick them up. They're not going to be mad at you that you stay. They're going to be more mad at other people for not voting with them.
And the game truly changes every week. Like I was hearing someone talk about how the start of one week and the end of one week, a million things could have happened. So closing doors on people just because of a vote off when they clearly weren't in the know and didn't really know how the house was moving at the time. I just feel like that's being slightly closed-minded, and Danielle isn't a closed-minded player, which I appreciate. But then we move on to week 3. James wins the HOH. James and Danielle are working in tandem up to this point, so this is great. She's completely safe. She advises James to target Jace outright because that is also her target. She tells him that targeting George is foolish, but she doesn't push too hard. And James actually offers Danielle a final 2. So this is when they officially make a final 2. How would you navigate moving forward through the game with James?
That's a hard question. We had the video about today about James. You know, there's a lot of stuff with James.
To be fair, Danielle seems to be the only person he genuinely is loyal to the entire time and wants to take to the end.
And I think she beats him. So like, I think this is like the right path for her, to be honest, is to go with James. But he's such a wild and chaotic player on accident for some reason. Like, I don't know how to explain him.
I think James has potential that got ruined this season.
I so agree.
Targeted George. When I tell you my eyes cannot roll even further back than what they did, because he said he doesn't consider him an all-star. Who are you to tell us what's an all-star, James?
He's the veto king.
Just as much as George was. Mind you, he was on the first season. Like, he is one of the first. So, like, let's reel that shit in. Like, enough's enough. But, like, it's so annoying to watch him. Week 2, right? Okay, not to drag Kaser, but I'm going to drag him. Everyone is like, put up Bull and Boogie. Put up Bull and Boogie. James is like, put up Bull and Boogie. Oh, my God. Sorry. And then he gets HOH. I'm thinking, all right, chill town. On the block you go. And you want to target George? You want to buck up to George? Like, that fighting in the kitchen was so lame. I said, James, what? That's like me picking on a like kindergartner. Like, that's what that felt. It was like, so weird, so strange.
It's so funny. I always say we're gonna make the floaters take a stand. We're gonna eliminate the easy target so they can target us. It's make it make sense.
So weird. The reason he's targeting Chicken George, he won't say it. He's the only person he didn't have the phone number of before the season started.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he is targeting Chicken George. He couldn't pregame with him, so he's like, okay, let me get rid of him. What's Chicken George? We talked about this a lot in the James video. Once Chicken George won that veto, there's no reason Chilltown was not nominated. There's literally
It's right there.
It's so weird. And like I understand why Danielle wants Jace to be put up. And no, this is not the James video. But the whole integrity talk about no backdooring and shit, like, don't say shit if you don't mean it. Like, I hate someone. I understand speaking and in the moment, but when you promise someone, when you say integrity, when you give your word, like, it soils it so bad when you then go back on it. I would rather you just shut up. Like, I would rather you not say anything than give me this whole hoopla speech and then you try to justify it. So, like, I understand why she's pushing it. And it does work out for her because she does get her target to go up and go home. But James is such a, like, weird ally. Like, it's so weird to me because it's like he wants the right things to be done, but he doesn't do it himself. Yeah. So, like, or his execution is really shit. So, like I understand why he's her ally. He also fits that archetype for her, like a Jason. I felt like that's for Jason in this moment. But James lacks. He has things that Jason didn't have, but I think he lacks things a lot. Like his only benefit is the fact that he's a part of the Six, and even the fact that he's in the bottom of that alliance does benefit Danielle. But it's like it's rough to navigate with someone who doesn't move with common sense sometimes. Like I don't know,
or emotional intelligence. No shade.
Like, it's so annoying because he had so much potential, and it's just like wasted. And I think Danielle, unfortunately, like the rest of us watching it, thought that he has potential and thought he would do something with it, and then he did his big one negatively. So
yeah, and then we talked about how a Chilltown going for James would be good. I think the same thing applies for Danielle. I think Chilltown going right here. I know she's been openly targeting Jace, so it might be good to get rid of Jace. But she has a pretty good relationship with Diane, and I would be able to assume that Diane would maybe be able to run Jace's HOH at least a little bit. And then she just needs Chilltown broken up. And at this point in the game, she is like rebuilding that bond of Marcellus like day by day. And her and Erica do have a good relationship. She could like form her own faction at this point. If James fully jumps from season 6, which we know he ultimately does do, but they jump together to go to Chilltown. It's like that's the two people we should not be jumping with. So
I'm not as mad for Jace going up for Danielle. I think for BB6 is absolutely ludicrous, but for Danielle, who isn't in their sights completely, and they do have an interesting relationship moving forward, I'm not as mad. But what is interesting is that when Jace does get nominated, it's Jace against Will on the block. Danielle actually goes straight to Jace and she says, please, because he originally gives up. He's like, that's it, I don't care. I'm going home. I'm going to see my daughter. Everything's fine. She says, no, do not give up. We are rapidly losing numbers because BB6 just keep winning everything. And Will, who keeps saying that he's going to throw everything, I don't want to keep that in the game. So please try and I will vote for you. And Jace does go around and he actually starts to pick up the pace. However, this does flip when Will catches wind of this and he thinks, oh no, my facade isn't working out completely. He pivots a little bit. He assures her that he is here to play. He is willing to duke it out to the end with her. And she says, all right. She votes for him to stay. We move on to week 4. I love this for her.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I'm in the mindset that Chilltown ends up like steamrolling the games.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
She should have got rid of Will, but her and Boogie, like we haven't really talked about her and Boogie do have a good relationship for like,
they have a
good
great
chunk of the season. So like I do wonder what if she doesn't want to damage that by taking out Will as well.
But the thing is that like maybe it's again the still Chilltown like steamroll. But what does she gain with Will being in the house? Like, if we're being real for a moment. Because if we're saying that Boogie, let's say everyone in the house is like, Will's got to go. And Danielle's like, you know what? This is the house vote. I have to vote that way. Boogie loses his number 1 and he needs someone new. So she kind of she could be that new person for him. Like, I just feel like anytime Will is a final nominee, Boogie's a final nominee, they must go. Like Will, let's talk about Will for a moment. He's a winner. He's a winner.
Only winner here.
Only winner. Lisa didn't get voted in. She stood it with Bucky and the rest of them like this, letting all of them go. So he is a solo Ono winner. If he is on the block, like Jace, first of all, his outburst, to me, it shows that you're reactive, you're emotional. and like things like that. And when something bad happens to you again, you'll react the same way, if not worse. So like to me, that's kind of a benefit because I'm not gonna go tossing around shit and like yanking stuff and like I wouldn't, at least not in public. Me personally, so I don't know. I get it. Like it's Will and he has an aura and a charm about him. And I think also if Will goes, she also that's a Will Danielle's game is that she is already a big target. And so she's trying to diminish that. So if you do take someone out like Will in the game, it's like who's the next big target? Maybe you can look at Boogie, but Boogie at that point in time was like a pre-jury flop. I can't remember. Did he make jury? No.
There was no jury on BB2.
Yeah, everyone.
Oh, right. Everyone went home and stuff. Anyways, so like, and he got an engagement ring. So all that to say, it's like, if we're looking at legends, if we're looking at icons, like Will leaving does go, okay, who's the next one?
Yeah.
But I think there's something bigger going on. So he could have left.
My thing is like, you're right. When you look at it, Will's the only winner. Will's an incredibly impressive player and skilled player. However, the thing is for me, it's just if Will goes and Chilltown is fractured, the entire that side of the house just disperses because Will is charismatic enough to rally everyone together to oppose BB6, who's winning everything. I don't think Jace has the same charisma to hold it together. But then again, it's a tit for tat. Is it like, what's better? What do I prioritize here? I guess if you have a connection to James, maybe BB6 being so powerful isn't such a terrible thing. I don't know how to feel about it, actually.
But the BB6, and that's the thing, like, the 6 is always going to be the 6. Like they're just always gonna be there, and I don't want to insult the player's intelligence. Like I think if one of them goes, then it's like we don't have to worry about Chilltown, which kind of benefits. I mean, they didn't need it, like anyways. But in a normal world where people are going with common sense, then it's like okay, Chilltown isn't that big of a target anymore. So who's the next big target? And they're looking at 6, and at that point, we're talking. This is week 3. And that means that the 6 have won 3 HOHs back to back, and Janelle won the first week POV. So, like, I think people would still have to get together, and they might have done it in the name of Will, kind of like in BB. I don't know if it's 12 or 11, whatever, where they all like
11,
get around people and like cry about Jesse's departure. Like, I'm sure bitches could have done that over Will. Like, if we could get that over Jesse,
the new Cappy.
I was thinking he's the new Cappy, or they're all wearing like swaggy Will shirts, you know, like the Dr. Will shirts. They could have done that for Will.
Okay, so that brings us into week 4, and this is my favorite week from Danielle. I'm sorry, she absolutely ate this week up. So when Janelle wins HOH, she initially has her sights on Diane. However, Diane eventually talks to Janelle and is able to convince her out of it. So Janelle actually nominates Erica and Boogie, with Erica as the pawn and Boogie as a fake target. Basically, during the knockout HOH competition, Will eliminates Howie. However, Danielle tells Will, why didn't you eliminate Janelle? Because she's a much bigger threat. This gets led back to Janelle, and Janelle now wants to target Danielle and is now planning to backdoor her when Boogie wins the power veto. This is bad, right? But what she does is that she clocks in because she sees that the nominations are Erica and Boogie, and she doesn't understand why Will and Boogie aren't up together if it means that you want to get rid of Boogie. So then she starts asking around, and then she finds out the stories don't match up, and she knows that Janelle is plotting something. And because of this, she goes to Kesa and promises him so much. She says, I love you, Kesa. I'm going to work with you moving forward. You absolutely have a trusted ally in me. Knowing that Kesa will take the information back to Janelle, and Janelle moves the target from Danielle back onto Diane once again.
Yeah, this is maybe her most impressive gameplay week in the entire season.
You have to be a gifted player to pull this off, in my opinion.
Yeah, and she totally like keeps her word to Kaser. She never betrays this, and but yeah, this is really impressive.
I mean, did she not put him up the following week?
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I think what's interesting here is Danielle asks a lot of questions, and maybe she should be asking them internally. Maybe she should have used those 24 hours of like solitude to just be asking questions to the wall, you know. But I don't blame her because she's asking the right questions. Because at this point in time, the only good thing about being a floater in the middle is that the sides are supposed to go after each other. Right. But when the sides aren't going after each other, then that no longer, you aren't the middle. right? Like for you to be in the middle of something, you must see two sides go against each other. So that's a good position to be in, but she's clocking, hey, the sides aren't going after each other. And that's something I think is really intelligent. I think people kind of view these knockout rounds and don't clock it. That is the most social competition you will ever see in the game, and it tells you exactly where everyone stands. So for her to clock that immediately and go, this is not sitting well with me, and asking those questions was very right of her. And going to Kaser, and this is what I like, because people talk about kissing the HOH's ass all the time. It feels very surface, it feels very obvious. But when you go and you kiss ass to the next best person, then it becomes, oh, you're not kissing the HOH's ass anymore, right? And it makes people seem like you are under their control. And I think that is very smart instead of going to the HOH. Diane does this a little bit, but it doesn't benefit her long term because she gets put up on the block anyways.
Because she doesn't continue doing it. She thinks it's a one and done.
But that's the issue. When you kiss ass to someone, you have to do consistently. And that's what flops, because Marcellus is another example of this, right? Like you start kissing up, and then you stop all of a sudden. It's like, okay, well, you're being phony. And then people use that against you. Right. So it's better to go to someone you actually kind of like, which she does like Kaser, you can tell when we talk about the week. So I think this was very smart of her. And again, like you said, it takes a very smart and intelligent player to move the needle that way when she had no power to leverage.
Yeah, this is the difference between like her and Diane. Like Diane overall is probably a good player, but this is what makes Danielle like a great to all time player. Is because she's so active. Like she knows to just keep going. She's gonna keep pushing, and like there's definitely like weeks in this season where it's like kind of bad gameplay by her at some points, but she's always very active. Like she's always trying. Like she's here to win the game. And she's gonna do whatever she can to keep going forward. Even like the whole Jace thing, like she was trying to get active to say Jace to stay. That she realized she needs Will to stay instead, so she got active on that. She's always gonna keep pushing what she wants.
Yeah, which I always appreciate. But that's only part one of the week. So when Janelle does end up nominating Diane, Diane basically has no chance to stay on the block. But what she does see is that this pisses off James so much as someone close to Diane who isn't being prioritized. Before this, she's consistently been fanning the flames that BB6 aren't loyal to James, and he finally snaps. He tells her that it's time for him to turn against BB6. This is music to her ears. She uses this good relationship with Boogie she also has for them to build a Final Four alliance called the Legion of Doom to take down Janelle and make it to the Final Four. Now, this alliance was kind of fake from the start. I'm going to be real. However, for Danielle, she does get protected a lot from this alliance.
Yeah, specifically for her, this alliance is pretty good. Like, I think there's talks from like Will and Boogie about breaking it up even sooner, but Boogie's like, no, we don't need to break it up because Danielle's in it. Like, we have Danielle. Like, he wants to protect Danielle for at least the short term. So this alliance is good for her. I talked about this in the James one. I just wish they made like more alliances outside Legion and Doom. Like, if you're gonna make one person, make it the same 4-person with like Marcellus and Erica or like something. Like, just keep making these alliances so you have options and stuff. But
I think Danielle has a lot of options. Like I know you were talking about James in that moment, but I'm just thinking about it, right? Like there's the Red Room alliance with Erica and Marcellus, and then she's good in with 6 to a degree prior to her HOH. She has the Legion of Doom, like Legion of what? Is it Doom? Yeah, Doom. So like I think in this moment, Danielle is actually the one person playing the middle at that point in time, and she's positioning herself before the HOH to seem good on all sides. And so I understand your point about like making relationships beyond it, but Danielle, what's interesting about her and James is that she has a lot of individual relationships that actually mean something. Granted, I'm gonna get Erica's ass when the time comes, but at this point in time, she's okay. So
yeah, I think she's in a phenomenal position this week. I think she actually has been talking. She's good on all sides, which brings us to her HOH, where I do feel like she squanders this position a little bit. I don't know if Danielle realized this. I think she just put too much faith into the Legion of Doom and kind of prioritized it this week in the way of getting around some of her other positioning. Because what she doesn't realize is that by winning HOH, she pigeons herself into a position where she's the direct opposition for Janelle, for Kaser, for Howie. And Chilltown only see the use in her so long as they can keep her battling this other side of the house, which isn't really getting her anywhere moving forward.
Yeah.
Should she have thrown it to Erica?
Was it who was second? Was it Erica or Howie?
Erica. She asked Erica to throw it to her, and Erica diligently says, "Okay," and drops.
Yeah, she probably should have thrown it to Erica just because, like, unlike Erica, Danielle was like in the best middle position, and Erica probably just puts the target that ends up on Danielle on Erica. So, but it's also one of those things where it's like it's hard for me to tell someone to throw a calm because at the end of the day, it's like
it's really tricky.
Yeah, because
like, they were winning everything.
Yeah, like
someone has to take a shot. It's just by taking the shot, you put yourself in rough waters.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my frustration. In this moment, did she need to win it? No. Did she? No. But, let's be for real for a moment. Week 1, Janelle's HOH with Jace. Week 2, Kacer's on HOH. Week 3, James, still 6, but James. Then you have Janelle. I'm sorry. At some point, when you know that there are 4 people together, you need to take it into your own hands. You can't trust everyone to actually come together and do it. And it's unfortunate because what she did do, I mean, we can debate about her nominations and stuff like that, but the purpose of going after the 6 made so much sense. And if anything, like, it's so annoying because the veto situation pissed me off. Like, it really, as a Danielle fan, it pissed me off. And that's the thing. I was thinking about it. What is Danielle's demise? That's the question we're going to talk about, right? That's the overarching theme. What is her demise? And part of me thinks that her demise is having shitty allies. Like, that's genuinely what it is. Because if you actually locked in, if we actually had a core alliance, a proper alliance that this could have been, this week, it's flawless. But she got a flop-ass group, flop-ass allies. And yes, this is an individual game, but at the end of the day, you still need allies. You still need allies because it's a social game. So this week is a very sad week because it has so much potential. And of course, like everything in life, no offense, men ruin it for us. So here we are.
Right. That is definitely the theme because although I think the undoing here is she does have a good relationship with Boogie, and Boogie actually does respect Danielle. However, he respects Will more. And Will is always going to do what's best for Will. And Boogie's then also only going to do what's best for Will, unfortunately. But I'm not going to absolve Danielle of all guilt, this HOH, because she tells James, you are going up as the pawn. Now, I don't care what kind of reasoning she had for this. The only reasons I like people going up as a pawn, your ally specifically, is if you're okay with them going home or because literally everyone else you're better aligned with. Like, I don't... Yeah. Why do this? Because she nominates him against Janelle. If Janelle doesn't win this veto, Will already has talks of, I can use Janelle. Janelle is someone I can work with. I would rather keep her in the game over someone like James, who brands himself on being untrustworthy.
Yeah, and then also I think her like main flaw, like the bad move this week, is honestly making that deal with Howie. If she doesn't make that deal with Howie, she could just do Howie and Janelle. And if she still does the James plan, Howie give you the back door. Like it would make the week so much easier. She didn't make the deal with Howie, and I get why she made the deal with Howie, but like he was gonna fall.
He was gonna fall.
It's interesting because we have seen time and time again how putting your allies on the block just results in horrible things happening. I don't think it was a good move. I do remember yelling at my computer because I forgot she did this. And I said, Danielle, you're better than this, but it's okay. Not everyone is perfect. This could be the one flaw that you have against you in your armor of flawlessness and iconic nature. So I was really frustrated. I was like, Danielle, do not put this man up. I'm like, you're putting him up against Janelle, who has been against him before and still beaten him multiple times. So it's not like James has a record of beating Janelle in every competition they compete in. Like, to me, I understand wanting to have one extra person, that one extra chance against like going into a battle for the POV because it's 6 people. But ultimately, to your point, like she should have just put up Kacer immediately. Like, I get that they had this whatever. But at this point, you're taking the shot at the 6. You're already doing it.
Yeah, you have to commit.
You might as well go full throttle. And
yeah.
I only think the only issue with like the Howie thing, I understand it, but also what I like about this move, if you give someone your word and you actually follow through despite everything else, I think it actually gives you more credibility. Because the next time you put your word down, you could see, well, look, I did it this one time. I
Yeah.
went against this whole alliance, but look, I held my word into it, even if I didn't want to. I still did. So then, if she wants to use it as currency moving forward, it actually has something of value versus like you've never been tested before. Not to reference Love Island, but that relationship needs to get tested or whatever before you can move forward, because then you know for a fact that like you're actually good, which sometimes I think is dumb, but this is not Love Island. So,
Thank God.
Well, depending on who we talk about next time, it might be Love Island.
Well,
you're acting like it in that shower was giving very much challenge. Yeah.
So she does try to have a cake and eat it too. She should have just nominated Kaiser. If you're going to take the shot, really take the shot and stop trying to be cute about it. But especially because she talks to Kaiser, she says, I do like you. I know that I love the way you play the game with honor and integrity, which gross, but whatever. And then she says, is there any way we can work together moving forward? And Kaiser says, no. He says, no, I'm loyal to my people. We're not doing that. And she's like, well, okay then.
This icon.
She tells this fake plan with James is the decoy. I remember she specifically tells Erica, Boogie, Will, and of course James. These are the people she trusts the most. But although she and Marcellus do bond greatly by this point because they're not targeting each other anymore and they have some sense of trust, she says, Marcellus, you threw Janelle under the bus, who's supposedly your number one ally. I the hell am not trusting you at any point in this game. I'm keeping you at arm's length. Okay?
I mean, she kind of ate with that, though. She ate with that. Like, can we wake that up for a moment? Let people's actions show you who they are.
Exactly.
Because
hello, that was crazy.
Because if we're in the game and you were like throwing everybody and their mom under the bus to me, I had to assume you're probably gonna do the same for me. Also, I always remember in like 25, Corey was like fake throwing America under the bus, like he really wanted to work with America, but he was like trying to like bash her to other people so they didn't seem close. Don't do that, because now people are just sus of both of you. So like we can't be. You just gotta be real at some point.
So this is the house arrangement that I made up in week 5.
Oh,
yeah, I just do this so it's easy to see if there's any other moves that we say would have been better. I guess Kaiser and Janelle I would have liked a little bit better, or if you're going to take the shot. But if you're not going to take the shot, I just think you ingrain yourself more within BB6, who cannot play Big Brother, and you send home Chilltown, and then you kind of ride the middle to the end. Especially if you've got James, who is more loyal to you than BB6. There is a shot that you could make it, especially because you likely beat him in a jury vote. But this is a complicated one.
Yeah, if you take the shot at week 6 and Janelle wins veto, I do think Kaiser probably is the second best target, because unlike Howie, I have faith that Kaiser could maybe wake up if they get to be like another situation.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I want to believe it. I want to believe it. He can wake up.
I don't know, y'all. Watching this season, I shouldn't have watched this season, because the way I look at Kaiser, I'm like, damn, brother. Like, I'm really sad. He's a good-looking man, though. Like Marcellus said, that's a good-looking man. He is fine.
Marcellus clocked. So like we said, she does nominate Janelle and James. At this point, George and Danielle also have a really close alliance, because remember that they had that deal never to vote against each other in week 1. They stuck by that, and now George and Danielle are bonding as the two parents in the house. And for a while, George is just completely in Danielle's corner just because he loves her so much. He asks her where to vote. She gets him to vote to evict Kaiser this week. All goes to plan. However, Janelle does win the veto. She nominates Kaiser in his place, even though she really didn't want to, and she gets 24 hours solitary confinement because her allies are shit and we're taking all the prizes. But what's interesting is that they blame all the prizes they took on Marcellus, who was also playing in the veto, in an attempt to get Marcellus nominated. Now, this doesn't work, because Danielle says, well, I told Marcellus to take all the prizes, and you guys were supposed to take the punishment so we could get the veto. And they didn't realize this. So when she comes out, she says, all you trying to push Marcellus? That makes no sense for me. I'm not doing it. Up you go, Kaiser, and out you go. Go home.
Surely Marcellus won't go home on an not allies HOH this season. So, like, that's his good work by Danielle.
It won't be hers.
I would just like to start a slow clap for this moment because I'm sick of people coming up to the HOH like they have the power and telling the HOH what the fuck to do. This happens a lot this season. Did you win this competition or did I win this competition? Did I get this power? Am I the one putting the keys in that's putting the blood on my hands, or are you? It's very strange how they thought they can come up to Danielle and tell her to put up Marcellus because he came up with some prizes. Mind you, it's not even true. Mind you, it's not even true. Will Mr. $5,000? Will Mr. Boogie with the Aruba trip for 2 and a plaza hearing TV? Like, don't piss me off. That pissed me off so bad that they were like, let's put this on Marcellus. Like, you're so sick. You're vile. You're like, there's something so strange about these two in that moment because you didn't need to do that. And getting the whole house on board because he got some prizes. Girl, enough. I think this is Big Brother, not Price is Right, and you have to go after people who have the best gifts. Like, please don't piss me off. I thought their reasoning was so lame. And you're coming up to Danielle, who just spent 24 hours in solitary confinement, knowing that one of you, Mr. James, has a phone call, the price she really wanted. I thought it was so weird, and I was so glad that she said, "This does not serve me. This does not serve me." And she kept it pushing. Like, hallelujah. Like, for once, this whole season, if we clock it up until this week, it takes someone to come and influence the HOH to do what they want instead of what they should be doing. Like, this entire season at that point.
This entire jury phase is like that, basically.
I was so happy to see it.
And like, I know we're not talking about Will, but I was gonna say I think that's what great players do sometimes is like they sit there, they're like, what's some bullshit that I could push today? Like, because he wants Marcellus out at the end of the day. He's like, she has no reason to get Marcellus out. I'm gonna try it. And it didn't work. And then the next week you go to the HOH, he tried it again, and that time it did work. So he just you see players just like that, they'll just be trying anything.
I will say this. We did dog her for putting James on the block, which I agree. But I want to talk about the advantages of that, right? Because if anything, James's ass, after tearing Janelle up in the confessional, calling her this, that, and every other B word, mix and match, the fact that he stood there like this, and they bought it, and now they're like, oh, he's a part of the 6, we need to trust him, and it gains him a lot more information. Like, say what you want about the move, it was messy, but the benefits that it rewarded, like later on, I feel were worth it. Like, I think this move is very dumb in any other scenario where the cast is like, okay, well, you're gonna go up. But I think there's something about looking at your cast, and even if a decision is dumb, knowing your cast well enough to clock their tea, even if it's a risky move, to know that it's gonna reap the benefits that you wanted. And it did.
It did, which it was looking shaky, especially with this case of James vote. It did come down to the last minute, but Boogie does say, James, he said during the eviction, he says, he does a hand gesture to Will, and he says, we're going to vote to evict Kesa because we want to continue our allegiance to the Legion of Doom moving forward and keep this position that we have, which is good. And, you know, shout out to Danielle for doing that without even knowing. So it all works out. Erica wins the next HOH. Actually, no, she doesn't. Janelle does. And this is worst case scenario for Danielle. She nominates Danielle and Erica, as, you know, you would assume she would. However, she isn't in any real danger. If she stays on the block next to Erica, she will have the votes to stay. And in the event that she gets a bunch of people from the Legion of Doom in the veto competition, they will throw it to her. As they do, Danielle wins the power of veto and is safe this week. Thoughts?
Can we talk about if Danielle would have stayed on the block for a moment? How different the end game becomes? Like, can we wake that up for a moment? Because if it's Danielle and Erica at this point in the game, Erica goes home. Music to my ears, music to my ears, music to my ears. I'm so sad. I would like to mourn that, because I would have lived for another moment with Marcellus. Like, I know he said he wouldn't have had the guts to go after Janelle, but at least he would have put Mike and Willa. Like, a girl can dream.
I think Marcellus is the only person in the house at this point who puts up Chilltown, like directly just puts both of them up.
And that is the loss that you're gonna have to mourn. Like, truly and seriously. I'm so sad.
And I talked about this on like the James segment. I think it benefits their game so much. James and Danielle, if Erica goes this week, if that's Danielle staying on the block or if it's Danielle versus, Erica versus Marcellus, I think maybe it's hindsight 2020, but I think at this time in the game, information about Erica and Boogie dating before this show started is getting out there and it's spread around the house because Will's just messy for no reason. That I think you can't risk that relationship and you have to take Erica out over Marcellus.
Mm-hmm. So this week wraps up with Danielle pushing for Marcellus to go instead of Erica. Chilltown get Marcellus to be nominated by Janelle. And Danielle wants Marcellus gone because she can't trust Marcellus the way that she thinks she can trust Erica. She, in doing so, to help campaign, she and Erica agree to fake a fight to kind of convince Janelle that they're not together. So Janelle will be more on board. Very much. So Janelle will be on board to save Erica this week. However, what you have to keep an eye on is that George is not included in this plan. And later, Danielle tells George, "Oh yeah, that was fake." And George does not take kindly to this. He says, "So I can't trust you anymore." I think this is a slight setback, and it does have ramifications moving forward. Any last comments on week 6? I think this is it.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. Get over it. Get over it. It's not like Danielle went and said in this fight, and by the way, Chicken George does not have
it had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
You're pushing 50. Enough. The fact that I can't trust you. Did she curse you out? Did she insult your children? Did she take your chickens from your coop?
Mm-hmm.
I like this whole shabam and shablam, and this is why the Chicken George HOH pissed me off so bad, like so bad. But we'll get there. We'll get there. He'll get his. But
we're actually here now, but we're here from Danielle's POV, right?
Yes, but when it's his turn,
okay. So George wins the HOH, and he targets James for what happened in week 3. James wins the veto. James wins the veto, and George has to come up with a renom. Now, this was meant to be Danielle. However, everyone does work to push the blame off Danielle because they want to keep her and Janelle in the game still fighting. This feud with Janelle is really is the thing that's keeping Danielle in the game. This is her life force, if you will. So she needs to be keeping that up. She does help George. He says, "Who should I nominate?" Because he wants to do Janelle, like the house is... No, he doesn't want to do Janelle like the house is pressuring him to do. He wants to do Will, but Will won't work because Erica will go home. So the last minute, Boogie, Danielle, Erica, they all make a push, and Howie goes up instead. Danielle is locked to send home Howie, weakens the other side. I'm not working with Howie at all. Boogie is also on her side. Boogie is able to bring in Will. Howie goes home. Any comments?
Yeah, I think they should have just pushed for Will to go. I think this is the flaw in her game.
Yes.
I think
absolutely.
She's just too loyal. Like, it's weird because she's known for being this like very cutthroat player, but she always
like, loyal to Jason.
She has like her crew that she's going to be loyal to. Like she was very loyal to Lisa as well. Like she has her people. It's like, okay, you guys are the ones I'm never going to betray. And I get why James was that person for her. The Legion of Doom should have been betrayed the first opportunity they were to be betrayed because Chilltown should have gone up here. And I think she could win the game if Will goes right here. I think there is a path for her to win if Will goes.
This is not a knock against Danielle. It's a plus for Chilltown. They make them seem the two of them go to everyone and make them seem like you need me. Like I don't need you. Yeah. You need me. And there's something so evil about that. But that's who they are. They're evil. They're evil. And it's okay. They own it. Circuitry wires. Yes, Will. Before AI, there was you. So all that to say that in this moment, I'm looking at Danielle's game and the way the house is. George, he's doing God knows what. Erica's maybe her only other hope at this point in time before we clock into her nonsense. And like, it's not looking good. She needs numbers. Janelle is not going to be a number for her. Howie's not going to be a number for her. Mm-mm. So I feel like she gets put in a position where she feels like she needs them. And the thing is, I can't even blame her because the way everything that happens this season in particular just feels like every every week, every move, everything just falls into place for Chilltown in a way that's just so, it feels almost supernatural how weird it is to me, genuinely. So it's like she's in a position where, like, yeah, it would have benefited, but like at that point in time, like what would have really happened? Would it have happened truly? Because then Howie and Janelle vote to evict Erica. Um, James, I don't know at that point. It's so weird. That, like, I don't know if they, even if he does go up, I don't know if he goes.
Because Boogie, Erica would save him.
Like,
Howie would save him. That's not enough.
it's not enough. Like it becomes so, it's so annoying. It's so annoying, to be honest, because as a woman, I'm gonna pull the woman card here. It felt like the Bechdel test to me watching the season. It's like, can two powerful women get along over a man not being on the screen? It felt like no, every chance. I'm like, Danielle, can you not see what they've done? Can you not see that they've pitted the two of you together and they keep betting? Why is it that the people are where they are now? It's annoying.
She does clock in this next week, right? Boogie wins the HOH. To Danielle, this is a great scenario. He's going to keep the Legion of Doom safe, yada, yada, yada. He says, I'm going to nominate James and Danielle. Now, Danielle is fully happy with this for some reason. James is the target at this point, and she's just allowing him to be nominated. Don't love that. Chilltown throw the veto to Janelle. George goes up as a replacement. And what she doesn't realize is that now that the cards are set, James is absolutely going. And Will basically soft launches to her throughout the week. Yeah, James isn't surviving this week. And she says, and he says, no, it's not happening. And she says, right. So then she goes up to Erica. She tries to convince Erica to keep James. She ain't budging. And then she goes to Janelle and she makes a truce for 1 week. And I think this is the right move. I just think it's just too late. Janelle doesn't take it seriously. She says, it's too late. I can't trust you. Will, I owe Will everything for keeping me in the game. I'm sorry. For me to pivot is too dangerous.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this on the I keep bringing up the James one, but their games are very their games are very together, like they are mixed together. But I think James kind of fucked all up because during these early jury stage, he's so anti Janelle, and Janelle keeps hearing about it. Where seemed like there was nowhere where Janelle would be okay with working with James and Danielle. But I think if James and Danielle ever set the groundwork to still have Janelle as options coming into the end game, there is a path for Janelle potentially turns on Will because like she does do it. So like maybe there is because she doesn't end up doing
Erica of all people.
Yeah. It's like I just think I don't know how much the damage put on Danielle for this. I think James is more the one who dropped the ball with people like Janelle side of the house, where it's like he had these relationships and he threw it away, and now once Chilltown betrays her, she literally has no one because James is going.
Yeah,
I disagree here only because of this. I think season 6 is to blame for their own demise. I genuinely do. There's nothing about, I'm going to mention the cookout for a second. Granted, the cookout was a much larger mission. You're talking to a Black woman before anyone gets in the comments. I fear that when you come in and you collect as a group and it's a known group, you actually have to put your egos aside. Like, you actually have to think about the group for a moment, genuinely. And not once in these 4 first weeks did these people think like a collective unit, despite everyone clocking, like, hey, there's 4 of you. This is a 6 alliance. Whether you want to admit it or not, this is an alliance. You're going to have to take it. And here's my frustration. James, the whole James thing, right? And Jace going out. Big week for James. Big week. And the fact that the following week, Chilltown does not go. Granted, hey, Kaser, you have the chance to. James, you have the chance to. But it's enough to break James's trust. And I think, if anything, granted, Janelle maybe didn't need him as much as this argument begs for. But I just think they did so much damage to James. Mind you, the previous season just happened and they did the exact same shit to him. So I was like, I understand why he's pissed the fuck off. And it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I think that's how he felt. Granted, should he have been less reactive, less emotional? Yeah, but I don't blame him for being anti-Janelle because she kind of showed her ass week 4. Was it week 4? Week 4. Like that
was
shit
cool.
was crazy. I was like, what are you doing, Janelle? It was very strange. So I understand your point about that, but it's like I feel like Janelle breaks James's trust more than he does hers.
Yeah, I see that.
So if, like by the end game, like I get it, you should be open to it and stuff like that. But Janelle's not proven that she would put him above Will based
No.
off week 4. Week 4. Like it's crazy to me. Like Chilltown week 4, like it's Will's impact or influence on Janelle, like clocks in very early on in the season that we're talking about this situation, which is like week 7, week 8, I forget.
Mhm.
And so to me, it's like I don't even know if it really is James' fault. Like Chilltown does a really good job at influencing very powerful players like Janelle.
Yeah, I think the main issue is like we talked. You guys talked about the James, but like I think they should have jumped from season 6. Like everything you said about James is correct. Like especially coming from just the last season where they did do him dirty last year. He's coming back into this house. I think the main issue is the Legion of Doom being a chill town. I think they should have picked up people like Marcellus or like Chicken George or even they should have picked up the other people instead of going from. They went from a group of people who weren't loyal to them to a group of people who are definitely not loyal to them. It's like I just think they went to the wrong people.
Exactly.
But he does alienate Chicken George fairly early on.
Yes.
Again, that James potential wasted garbage. Like, oh,
You could get George back pretty easily, though.
I don't think it'd be hard to get him back.
I don't know. Like, I think George, and we'll talk about George. I think George is a very human player, and it's not a bad thing. I just think he's a little emotional. I think he's a little like
He's a little chicken.
right. I think George is a weird individual, but he's almost too normal. Also, like he's too normal in the sense of like, oh, this doesn't feel right. This isn't moral correct, and not and that's not a bad thing by no means. This is making me sound crazy, but it's also Big Brother.
In the game of Big Brother, it's
like it's a game. Like, and granted, that wasn't your season. That wasn't Big Brother 1. That wasn't the T. But it's been like 6 other seasons since then. Like, you should register that this is the game you are signing up to play.
Literally. Sorry. But yeah, just to get into everyone's favorite week of the season. Erica wins HOH and she hugs Danielle and she says, "You are absolutely safe this week. Don't worry." Well, basically, I'm going to nominate Janelle and George, and Will is going to be the renom. Right? Okay.
Makes sense.
Danielle is telling everyone that I'm still going to target Janelle, but she's not. At this point, she is honed in on Will for sending home James, and she's going to take the strike the first time she gets it. Unfortunately for Danielle, Will is aware of this immediately and does everything in his power to get Danielle gone this week. Janelle does win the veto, and as soon as she wins the veto, Will and Boogie are straight up in Erica's HOH room. They say Danielle has to go because Danielle will beat everyone in the finals. And Erica says, okay. You know what's crazy? Before I read the feeds, I would have assumed that this is a very complicated move. Will and Boogie stayed up all night to convince Erica to do this, and it took a lot of going back and forth. It takes no effort whatsoever. Yeah. Erica jumps. Well, she doesn't jump, but it takes one tiny push for her to be like, okay. It's so pathetic.
Coming from the Marcellus week where they actively push for Janelle, like they go to Janelle's HOH room for like hours on hours, days on days, like they are nonstop. They go to Erica. Erica's like, I don't really want to do it. They're like, but you should. She goes, you know what? You're kind of right. Like immediately.
It's like beat her in the end.
Yeah. And that's why your ass fucking lost 6-1. Sorry. I'm going to say
7-0.
Oh. Doesn't Marcellus vote for her?
Yeah, she was 7-0. I think if I'm Marcellus and I see this, I'm like, oh, you did what?
I don't think Marcellus gives a fuck.
He doesn't.
To be honest.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be, oh yeah, it was 7-0. Woo, my bad. Look,
it should have been. It was 6-1.
Oh, it was 6-1. Okay. Erica. Multiple test fears you.
She repels them.
Erica. Am I on next week's recap? Because she'll get her
on the last one. Yeah, the one for Erica.
Oh, okay. So I'll reserve my lashings for this week. But let me give you a teaser right now. Erica, weak. You're weak. You're a weak individual. Because in what universe does it benefit you
I
to
don't
get
know.
rid of Danielle? It even okay. Whew, let me calm down. Even if she is the most assured winner, baby, there's 3 more weeks. If it's you, Danielle, and someone else in final three, you think they're taking Danielle? Like what? How
Mind
does
you,
this?
she loses to like everyone but George. Like,
And she's
How
it's
does
actively
so
not
funny.
trying to get to that.
how does it benefit you? Like it was actually crazy because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I remember how people like maybe rank ish sometimes or like where they're at in like jury or whatever. I did not remember how Danielle goes home. Genuinely, I don't remember how. I thought Chicken George left before her, to be so honest with you. So imagine my surprise when I rewatch this and I see who she is. Erica, oh, and that's why you lost. I can't even believe you got some money for second place. I'm so sick.
I can't.
Like Danielle did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, she did nothing wrong this week. This to me, oh my god, no. Erica's
She did not.
so
She
dumb.
did do nothing wrong this week. Like
No.
specifically this
Like,
week, she should have been safe. And also, we talk about how Erica doesn't have win equity because she truly doesn't. If she's the reason Will goes, hey, that win equity is up to the fucking roof.
oh, like
But the
the
Yeah.
problem is, doesn't
skyrocket.
on fees, doesn't Erica think she has the most win equity at this point?
Yeah,
Like
because
the
they
way
gaslight her into thinking so.
you know what? People should do that more often. You gotta gaslight people to think they have win
Don't
equity.
know. What
Like,
was crazy that pisses me off in this fight as well is because Erica's convinced lickety split. The next day, she tells Danielle, "Yeah, you're probably going up." And Danielle says, "Okay." She goes off. And then they get libations in the night. She starts drinking her wine and she talks to Erica and she said, "This makes no sense. You were stupid. Why are you doing this?" And Erica's like, "Well, I wasn't going to do this. But I said I was thinking about it. But now that you're acting like this, I'm 100% putting you up." And I'm like, "Shut up. You suck. Gaslighter." You were so putting her up. It's so frustrating to watch. And I don't blame Danielle. I mean, doing this made it so she had no chance to stay, but I think she knew that.
Yeah, I think she knew.
Decenter men. Decenter men. Decenter men. I can't yell this to the rooftops enough. It is so embarrassing to watch season 7. Like, I don't know if we're gonna talk about the season as a whole, but it is so embarrassing to watch how strong women let men manipulate them, play them for a fool in their DRs on fake phones, giggling and laughing, feet up. Why am I seeing feet on my screen? Dr. Will, feet down. It is so embarrassing. It is so embarrassing. It is humiliating watching this season as a woman who supports strong women because it's embarrassing. Erica, what did this do for you? What did this do for you? Also, that you can what? Kiss Boogie? Kiss Boogie?
Mike
Like,
Boogie Malin, out of all people.
so weird and it's so disappointing and it's so humiliating. It's embarrassing. And to see a strong woman like Danielle go out like this because another woman can't decenter men enough for this amount of money. Crazy.
Look at how she's attached to Erica on the alliance map.
Mind
That's
you,
the strongest connection.
this is the second time all of these individuals are playing. This is not your first time. Like, this shit pissed me off so bad. I can't. Ooh, I can't. It was so crazy.
This is one of the worst moves ever in the history of the show.
Of all time. And we need to start ranking the worst moves of all time and put her at the top.
Is this worse than Cases HOH?
Oh,
Yeah, I think this one.
This might be worse than
This loses
Cases.
Erica the game. At least Cases HOH was so early on. He's able to he could have recovered. There's no recovering from this. You lose to pretty much everyone. You might lose to Chicken George at this point because at least Chicken George probably would have made a move. Like, what are we doing? Like, we'll make the correct move or something. But it's like, I don't know. I think the worst part about all of this is it's not like Will and Boogie are some like secret duo that we don't realize how close they are. You know they're going to the DR together. They're best friends. They have never left each other's side since day one. They have business. You know they're close
together. Anyways, sorry.
So Erica makes the amazing move, renominates Danielle. Her fate is sealed. All 3 votes, locked to evict her. She goes home. And that is it for Danielle. That is her story in Big Brother 7. That is how it resolves.
But she'll be on TV.
Can I just say, as someone as Erica, who's a bitter fucking jury member, what did she think this was gonna merit her? A vote from Danielle? Like, you're talking about I can't beat you. You need votes to win, mama. You just oh like you just swore up and down, you're safe, baby girl, you're safe. Hold me in my arms, and I'm gonna tell you it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, you're safe, you're safe. And for what? And for what? Danielle is better than me. Because if I would have left that establishment, I would have done my big one. Made her feel so shit. Like no, it's crazy. Like
She did
Danielle
though.
enough for me. She didn't do enough because it's
Oh.
crazy. Because it was crazy. They've been literally together on the outside. You guys have been talking about Chilltown since week 1.
That's
You've been
pregame.
talking about season 6 since week 1. Why is it now all of a sudden you're in the end game and Janelle, who represents, is the head of season 6, and you have 2 of Chilltown together? Like what? Oh my god! Like she's so dumb. She's so
We'll
dumb.
get to her. We'll get
She's-
to her. Oh boy. But we have this
good.
other legendary player to
Oh,
think about. So
This one should go by fast.
this one I think about half the notes. So George has never played Big Brother as we know it before. I know Drake, you're a huge fan of Big Brother 1 because you watched it.
I'm one of 6 people who watched it. Yeah.
You're 1 of 6. Josiane, have you?
No.
No. Okay, good.
Hey, can I say though, Chicken George, kind of an icon on season 1. Okay, like he is one of the standouts of season 1. His wife rigs an elimination to get rid of the front runner. She like pays the whole town to vote her off because she saw that she was top of the popularity polls. And like
This is
you
real?
would think Chicken George is like a farmer. He's like a dude from Illinois. Like he's not a farmer. He just took care of chickens in the house.
So this is essentially All Stars 1 new player. And
This
if
is
you are
David
that, say you are
Alexander.
that new player, you guys put in your application, you go into the Big Brother house, everyone is an All Star apart from you. What is your game plan? What is your instinct?
Unironically, I'm working on my faves.
Well, no, actually, like someone, I forget what was the topic of conversation. Oh, it was about Allison and Danielle. But I just thought, like, if I was in a house with Davon Rogers or Ika Wong, best believe I'm pulling that Survivor Australia All Stars moment, and I would do anything for Suri to win. I would do anything to help Suri. I would do anything to help Suri. I would do anything to help Davon, and I would do anything to help Ika. And I do not blame them for doing that this time around. So if I was Chicken George, I'm picking my favorite. In this case, I fear it's Danielle, and I'm rocking with her until the wheels fall off.
Okay,
It's
so
kind
that's
of what he
interesting
does.
because
Yeah.
George hasn't watched any season of Big Brother, it seems.
Oh,
other than
we
to
have
know.
to
No,
scroll.
I need to know if he's telling the truth because his whole thing was about
Wait,
how
are
he's
you
like
being serious? I had no idea he hadn't seen any
Well,
season.
the cast thinks he's lying, but he keeps saying stuff. He doesn't know where the DR is. He doesn't know how the veto is used week 1. Everyone has to tell. He doesn't campaign or anything. Diane tells him this first week, you need to start campaigning to people. You can't just keep it cute and say nothing. If you don't start gaming, then, you know.
he
You're
was
gonna start
watching
getting
Big
in
Brother
trouble.
UK. He's like, I don't know why all these people got accents all of a sudden, but the game has changed since I was on.
Mhm.
I don't
Oh,
because his whole thing about why he wanted to come back is like he wanted to play the game that he never got to. There had to be someone from season 1 who watched Big Brother.
this just made me annoyed. This just irritated me. There is nothing I might find more annoying than someone going on any show and not watching a single fucking episode and a single season of the show they're about to go on.
Yeah.
Like that stuff pisses me off. Whether it's Love Island and people don't know that they gotta be fucking coupled up and explored and kissing isn't what you think it is and blah 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 and French fries or Big Brother, that pissed me off. That pissed me off so bad. That like you are an all-star. You're going to be on an iconic season for what we know it as, and you haven't watched a single season. Please don't piss me the fuck off. I would put him up. I would put him up week 1.
I
That
know.
pissed me off.
James Ryan is feeling more vindicated as the
You
days
know
go by.
I'm so sorry. I take it back. I take it back. Now that I know his ass hasn't watched a fucking season, I will put him up. That pissed me off.
It's crazy how he is the equivalent of David Alexander in All Stars 2, where like he comes back as like the wild card, where no, like he was Dave was the first who
Mild,
never got
the
to play.
mild card.
Yeah,
Please.
but David in between 21 and 22 did not watch any Big Brother preparation. How did Chicken George do the same thing? He
Did
didn't have streaming.
BB1 need
Yeah,
to be
streaming.
represented?
They
Did
could
it
have
really
someone
have
who watched
to?
it.
No.
No.
They should have got Brittany, the one that he rigged out of the game. They
Or,
should've called
or you know, no one. Maybe someone from a different season. You know.
Lisa.
You know what? Cass, I hear you. Let's wake this up. No, we didn't need season 1 representation. This isn't Big Brother history books. This is All Stars, the format that we know it as. And season 1 is an anomaly. I didn't need Chicken George. No offense. I'm really pissed off. Now that you told me he hasn't watched a fucking season. Oh,
I will say, I did. Like, if I'm back in the time, I don't need Chicken George on this cast. I don't know a lot of people who end up on this cast. I appreciate Chicken George because she does make me laugh every once in a while. Him not knowing where the DR is at is so funny to me.
No,
like,
I was frustrated. I rolled my eyes.
He's like, "Where's
it
the
was
DR?"
funny.
Rage bait.
And it's one thing to not know where something is located, okay? It's another to not do your homework. Like, I am so irritated. Like, you not knowing where the like diary room is to me is whatever. Like, I don't care. But
I just think I come into every Big Brother season. Like when we get the cast for 28, I'm gonna look at it and just be like, there's like 6 people on here. I'm like, yeah, they can't win. And Chicken George is one of those people for this season. So I'm like, at least give me a moment. And he gave me a moment or two. I thought the same thing for 22 All Stars. So
it's annoying because it's like I'm gonna be so real for a moment. I'm gonna bring it back to episode 1 in the first moment, and we're seeing everyone hold hands like it's a pageant, and people are just waiting for their key to be open. You are going into the house. You are going into the house. You are. Chicken George is standing there. Someone like Bucky, our hair king, bald up on top, hairy everywhere else. Lisa, another a winner.
Another winner.
You have Monica, underrated queen. If you haven't watched that episode, watch it because I am representing Queen Monica. And you have I forget that girl from season 5 or season 4. I forget her name.
Dana.
I thought her name Dana. I was gonna call her Deanne, but I knew. You know, you have all these hopefuls holding hands, probably pre-game, watched every season, and you add Chicken George at the end, who hasn't watched a single episode. Oh, that
Mind
will
you, there's even a gender imbalance in favor of the men.
Right.
In Chicken George.
Because let's be
because
real.
I knew he was going into the house, but when I'm seeing the reveal, I'm thinking, oh, isn't it supposed to be a woman? Bechdel test, Allison Grauner.
Yeah, because let's be real. All of like Bunky or Monica are more interesting coming in because it's another person from Big Brother 2 who's not Chilltown. What are the dynamics going to be with that? Are they going to work with Chilltown? Are they going to be anti? Or the other winner? What is the dynamics with?
Or Yvette, someone who's part of BB6 but not from the series.
I
A
forgot
little
about
bit more dynamics. That could have honestly made the season better because that links back to what I was saying about the season feeling a bit stagnant.
I do like this season, but I do think this could have been like probably maybe the best season ever. If instead of like Howie, Chicken George, Erica, if it's like Monica, Lisa, Yvette, or Bunky, like a combination of those 4.
Please.
Yeah,
and
no.
we can get rid of George.
He took a valuable spot, and I'm just really irritated.
We could have called Roddy.
Made it this far. You guys, that one statement changed everything for me. Everything.
Why did he lie?
Oh, George, may your time come swiftly. That was
lied. He really lied to us. He said, "I've been watching every season. I've been kept up."
Oh dear. So shall we get stuck into it? And by it, I mean very little. So week 1, he comes into the house. He's nearly nominated as a pawn. Thankfully, Allison takes his spot when she spreads around the house this insane plan. George plays in the veto. He might be the renom. Veto doesn't get used. Danielle comes to him. He does not come to her. She says, listen, I need your vote. Here's the deal. As we established before, George says, okay. He goes against it almost instantly when he hears the slightest sign that it might not be true. Marcellus flips him back. Allison goes home. Very little happens, right? Week 2, very little also happens. Casey does not choose to nominate Chicken George. He just plays lightsabers with Howie pretty much for the entire week. In terms of where the vote's going, Nokomis, Diane, George goes with the house. He does what Chilltown asked him to do. He votes to evict Nokomis. Nokomis goes home. However, he is caught by Janelle and James overhearing them talk about the vote between Nokomis and Diane. When they come out, they see him acting sketchy. They say, it's time for Chicken George to go.
They want to put him in the coop, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's his first 2 weeks. Very little to comment on, to be honest. I mean, what is there to say? They're just do stuff. Please just play the game. He's playing Big Brother 1.
He's playing lightsabers.
Yeah.
He is kind of serving cleaning lady, butler, teas. And when they made that whole segment about how he's cleaning and gaining information, I said, oh, you guys are giving him a lot of credit for cleaning.
They only had that segment because they didn't want to feel dumb for adding him.
That's when I considered him the equivalent of a Swiffer, a vacuum. Very
a
furniture.
Dishwasher, as James refers him to constantly.
Like, very much that. I will say, I don't know much about Star Wars. I think I watched all 3 trilogies watching this season, or how many other movies there are. Jedi this, Jedi that.
Not consensually, yeah, certainly.
I've never seen Star Wars, but I've played Lego games, so I think I'm very knowledgeable because I have played those Lego games. So I'll myself.
Those Lego games are the shit, actually.
Yes.
I've heard good things about Lego games, so I hear you. But I'm on the boat. I haven't watched Star Wars.
Why?
And this made me not want to. I watch Smosh. They play games like that. Anyways, but it just made me really not want to watch Star Wars, to be honest with you. Not that I had any intention to. Howie did his big one. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Why is Chicken George mogging me in the bottom left? Like, why? What is he doing this for? Why is he looking at me?
Let's talk about this, actually. So this looks like a lot of week 3. This is actually week 3 and week 4 on the screen. I could you not could find nothing. Not one thing. Let's get into week 3. James, as we've established, decides to take the shot at Chicken George because he's a coward. He
Yes, King. Do it again for me. Me an hour ago.
George against Will, of all people, because Will is, not as much of a threat as George is to our frustrations. However, George wins the power of veto. It's the power of veto tailor-made for George. He says that he will go on slot for all 60 remaining days of the season. No one else is willing to do that. He gets safety for the week. Hooray. Jace goes up in his place. George does not do anything to offer his opinion on who should be the Reno. George is actually really close with Jace. Jace goes home.
Is he talking to HOH at all?
No.
I just clocked the picture of him in the toaster and the slop, and it made me.
That's week 4. That's his content for week 4.
I
slop in the toaster.
I need to ask him how much he lost on this season because all you ate was slot for the entire time you were.
I think he loses like 30 pounds.
Yeah. Also, obviously we're gonna disrespect Chicken George a lot and make fun of him. I will give him his 5s because he did win his veto, and that was probably a big moment for him personally. It was a good TV moment, and I kind of wish you went home week 4, but it was a good moment.
No, it made me. I think everyone respected George at that point in time.
As a person,
and as a viewer, it did as well. Like I have said this time and time again because I think in season, I forget what season it is. Maybe it's season 4. There's a season of Big Brother Canada where they kind of ask house guests how much are you willing to do to get these points or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of, obviously this came before that, but it reminded me of those competitions where I've been like, if I was in that position, as a Black woman where our hair is our crown, I'm shaving my fucking head. To be in this house, it's someone's dream. Girl, wigs exist. I'll be fine.
With the 500K.
Well, yes, I would do it. Girl, don't ask me what I would do to be in that house, let alone win that game. Okay? So I'm just saying, but when I watch this and I'm seeing Jace, karma, should have fought for that video. when I see people toss it left and right and not give a fuck, this man recognizes that his game is on the line and he fights. And he fights. And there's a lot of people who are in similar positions as him later on in the season who throw the veto willy-nilly. Like, this to me, I was like, this is very respectable. Like, I like the fact that you fought for this despite everything else about you. This I can give you your tens. This I can give you your tens.
And
You look like I was gonna say a word in French, but I don't know. Smurf, is that what you guys say in English?
Yeah.
He's a Papa
I was
Smurf.
gonna say in French. It's called Schrumpf. Anyways, but he looks very
That
like he's
sounds more fitting.
yeah, un Schrumpf. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
I just got frustrated because why hasn't this comp been back? Like this is such an easy, equitable comp. Like, give these people punishment. Like,
Yeah.
what are they willing to do to win the veto? Like, why don't they do this?
I know.
bring it back.
Great comp. Despite James claiming it's rigged and the show's rigging it for George, you literally could have won this. So
It's
easily.
so funny that he said that.
Well, yeah, because you had a choice and you chose not to.
Yeah,
The
quite
one-
literally.
this comp is literally the only comp that's like unriggable. He's like, it's so rigged for Chicken George. It's like, no, this is like
I
we,
knew
we
that.
explored James's tantrums last time. So
Man,
if you want to see that,
Pacer shaved his head and he didn't have to. He was in an HOH and he wasn't a nominee. James, you're HOH. James, you're HOH. Why are you not still in the competition? That
James-
pissed me off.
James screams the type to not shave his head. Like, I don't know. I just feel like James wouldn't be
Yeah.
good bald.
James is an idiot to me. Not to talk about James too much, but it's like you bitch and you moan and you complain about shit when you could have been writing it. Same thing with the veto. Why is Janelle winning a veto when you're taking margarita
a
parties?
margarita party.
Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Like, James, enough.
It's over. It's over. To wrap this week up, Jace as his Illinois sister, he wants to keep. We're from the same state. We're close. George does very little to make this happen. Jace goes home. Moving on to week 4. Moving on to week 4, a very similar situation happens. George is there. His name is thrown around. Never seriously. No one sees him as a threat because he isn't. Diane goes up. George would prefer to keep Diane as someone he's closer to than Erica. He does very little to make this happen. Diane goes home. All right, moving on to week 5. There's just so little to talk about.
This is
You
George's
know what?
big.
Gas him again.
He's always in his green shirt.
No,
Bro,
'cause
did he pack 3 shirts?
Like, why?
He had to
When
give
did
them all up in that veto.
When did he get
Yeah,
this
because he had to
hat?
burn his clothes.
Come on, Andrea.
He
I was
did
gonna
burn his
say-
clothes.
Oh yeah, he did burn in the fire. No, Cass, something clocked it. Can we talk about that for a second? Because when I heard Chicken George say, "Oh, that's my state brother," or whatever he said, I said, "Oh, this is the first I'm hearing of it." Okay, never gets mentioned again, and it's exactly because he gave us nothing. One thing about George, he'll
They
give
would
us-
have used the footage if it existed. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
He's
Gagging
only
with-
getting moments like this because they don't want to they don't want the casuals and they're dumb for putting Chicken George in the game because this was production's decision was putting Chicken George in, and they think, oh, why do we do this?
Yeah. Okay. So Danielle wins HOH. George is safe because Danielle has other priorities, pretty much. Marcellus gives him the slot pass he won in the HOH. No one cares. He was forced to do it. We move. Danielle promises. George is basically like, as a fellow parent, we've had this deal moving forward. I would love to see you win if I can do that. She hugs him. Yay. He just stays out of everything for the rest of the week until Kesa actually comes to him and says, "Listen, I need your vote to stay. Could I please hear me out?" And he does. And George is like, I'll think about it, Kesa. He does not. But for some reason, BB6 seems to think he did. And when Kesa goes home, BB6 are like momentarily feeling betrayed by George, despite him never confirming that he was going to keep Kesa. This is all just so bizarre.
Chaser again.
This is all
like,
too many emotions for George.
You know,
Chaser,
it's-
get your lashings. But like, what? When he left that storage room conversation and went to the alliance to say, "I have George's vote," I said, "Did I watch the same conversation?"
Literally.
I was like, "Huh? Oh,
that
okay."
explains both of their games so well. Kaiser and George.
It was so weird.
It's
Kesa
also
has bad reads. George just doesn't read. I
it's
think.
killing me. Is George in that bottom left photo? Like he didn't even show up to be in that photo. I don't know why it's killing me so much. It's like a game talk, and George just isn't there.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
They're probably just talking about him, but like, it's hella
Okay.
neat.
Right, I actually have some sort of notes for week 6, so let's have a look. So
Ooh.
Janelle, one Kesa goes home. Janelle wins the HOH. Janelle and Howie are actually still upset with George because they assumed he was a vote to keep Kesa somehow. Janelle wins the next HOH, but they keep George safe as someone they just don't want to waste a week targeting. James could never. When Danielle wins the veto, Janelle wants to nominate George as the pawn to evict Erica. However, unbeknownst to George, who is aloof to all of this, Chilltown pushes the target onto Marcellus instead, and he goes up. George is apparently shocked. He assumed to be put up. However, George genuinely comes to appreciate Janelle for this move later on. This is a big factor into his HOH and why he does not go for Janelle. There isn't much to it more than that. If you guys want to interject and say anything, be my guest. I just don't know what there is to say.
I will say in this moment, like George, Howie and Janelle, like being like, well, should have been a vote for Kaser. And what? The vote was 5-2. One of your votes got nullified or whatever we're calling it. And so it would have been at most 5-3 with no James advantage, or 5-2. So why, or 4 sorry, I should have said 4-3 or 4-2. So why does it fucking matter? I thought it was so lame. Like, get over it. And this week, I hate players that have no urgency or no sense of what's going on in the game. Like, it's so lame. Like, this is All Stars.
Because like even you say he's surprised he doesn't go up, but he also never made any attempt to not go up.
So George ends up winning the week 7 HOH, or at least the fast forward HOH. This is the way I have the house structured. What do you think he should do? He, of course, nominates Erica James. James wins veto. Howie goes up. However, what should he do? Keep in mind that Boogie has the coup d'etat at this point.
Oh, yeah, he does have that fake ass power.
I'm sorry. I don't care if you're threatening me. You're going on the fucking block. Who do you think this is? That was crazy. I was like, you're being threatened right now. You know you're being threatened, and you're bowing down to it. Like, I thought it was so lame. Like, for someone who's supposed to be about this moral high ground and normal, right? Like, he's supposed to be the normal person. For you to just bow down to a bully, I thought was lame as hell. Like, again, you're pushing 50. Like, who cares? Like, I don't care what power, because mind you, you don't actually know what this power is. Like, obviously, a coup d'etat is very powerful, but for all we could know, it could be a steal a vote, or a 1 in 6 chance of being safe if you sacrifice your vote. We don't know what the power is. Okay, so to me, it's like, George, what has Chilltown ever done for you? Like, genuinely, you like Danielle. James is safe. He can't go up. Like, Howie is your Jedi, your leader, your whatever in Star Wars terminology. What would possess you to put up Howie? Like, you clearly have this loyalty to Janelle, which I don't think is worth it, but whatever. Howie should be your
She wanted to nominate him.
Yeah,
and she walked out of it.
I understand that, but like, he doesn't actually owe her anything. So to me personally, I can justify him not putting up Janelle in the sense, or in the world, that Howie should technically be his number one. So in that world, you don't put up Howie, you don't put up Janelle. James' nomination makes sense, but he's safe. You should be trusting Danielle, because what has she done really against you? Nothing. So you should be putting up Will or Boogie. The fact that Howie goes up on the block, to me, is ridiculous. It is unsensical. It makes no sense. But now that I know that his ass hasn't seen a fucking episode, I'm like, okay, well, the math is fucking mathing.
Well, also,
how many weeks? Like, there's no excuse.
I'm just thinking, like, if I'm in the mindset of Chicken George, we're at like week 7. I really, truly haven't done shit in this game yet. Okay, what is stopping me from just being like, I'm gonna put a Will and Boogie, and we're gonna get this power out of here? Let's get the power out of here. The power's still a thing,
exactly,
because it's like an idol and Survivor. Like, you got.
And my point is, it's like, even if I wasn't, you guys know that I would have done it if not you used the power. So you know you can't trust me anyway. So at this point, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to put you up. Too bad. I agree.
like to be honest with you, like let's talk about communication for a moment, right? There's a technique about repetition, the use of repetition, repeating something over and over and over and over and over again, right? So George, to me, unfortunately, is giving us nothing, but there is power in repetition. Season 6 must goes out. Season 6 must go. Season 6 must go. Season 6 must go. At this point in time, it's chill town, chill town, chill town. The fact that he hasn't clocked into that, like, I understand the James nomination. I do not understand the Erica nomination. Like, I understand that she
No.
has taken you out in competitions before. Boo hoo, who cares? I just think that it should have been James and someone from Chilltown. One, if the veto is used, the veto is used, whatever. But it makes no sense to go after any of the women, like, or Howie. Like it was so like that whole thing was so weird. And like this was his moment to be a hero. Can we wake this up for a moment? Again, let's talk about normalcy. Let's talk about normalcy. Let's talk about storylines, not to be Christian on you guys, but let's talk about storylines. We have seen you do nothing but train and be this freaking Jedi. The one moment use the Force, whatever you want to call it, and be a hero, be a man, and stand up for yourself. And be an example of what it means to stand up for yourself, especially against two people who are, I don't want to call it bullying, pressuring you, or being aggressive, or being very offensive to you. Like, this was his moment to, like, stand up. And what did he do? He buckled his knees, and I thought that was really a shame. Like, boring.
Yeah. Just Yoda said, use the HOH, young one. That's some shit Yoda would say. Like, why didn't Chicken George, like, he had to listen to Yoda, okay?
Because he isn't young, he's pushing 50. Anyway. So
come on,
Chicken Man. Explain what happens in this week. Just to give the rundown. Yeah. So George does nominate James and Erica. James is the target. It's the pawn. He tells her this immediately after.
Sorry.
James wins the veto. The entire house wants to nominate Janelle, including James. George tells Janelle this, and she's upset because James has betrayed her. Will actually volunteers to be nominated. He says, I'll go up. We can send Erica home. Bada bing, bada bang. And then he says, okay, let's do it. I'm going to put you up. I'm going to get the votes to keep Erica, send you home. I don't know how George thought he was going to do that, but he said, people are going to tell me they will, so they will. This doesn't work. Erica tells... because Erica and George made this sort of alliance. We know how Erica works with alliances, so I don't really give a fuck. But George is like, okay, so Will is going up. Don't worry, I've got people to promise their votes to keep you. And Erica says, yeah, they're lying. I'm going to go home. You better nominate someone else. And he says, no, it's fine. They promised. And she says, shut up. So she goes down. She tells Boogie. Boogie basically threatens George. He says, listen, someone here has a power. If you make a move that the house will not like, it is very likely this power to get used and you might be in danger. And George looks around. He says, listen, what's going on? Janelle, Howie, what's going on? Is this true? You tried to nominate me last week? And they say, well, Janelle does say something. She says something to the effect of, well, yeah, but you were never going home. You were always going to be safe. And then he turns to Howie, and Howie says, absolutely nothing. And because George says, okay, 1 + 1 = 2, or in this case, probably 3, Howie, you're getting nominated against Erica. Howie goes home. This is George's HOH week.
He uses HOH week to send home his fellow Jedi. Howie, let's go! Howie is gone. Evil defeated. Why did he do this?
On a personal note, I was quite happy Howie left. So
yeah, this is okay for gameplay wise.
Yeah, if I had to hear boobies one more time, if I had to hear those words one more time, thank God I was not here for Howie. I would have, like, anyways. I mean, George. It's annoying because it's like, in the long term, if we're being honest for a moment, if we're being real, the only person who seems to actually care about Chicken George as a human is Howie and Danielle, from my observations. Erica, she takes him out in every competition she can, which clearly means she doesn't care for him, to be honest. And it's annoying to watch Howie go on his HOH. I wasn't sad to see Howie go, but I'm annoyed because Chicken George, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? Like, for a moment. Because it's not strategy and it's not gameplay. So what do you stand for?
It's not loyalty then, because otherwise you wouldn't have sent Howie home.
Exactly. So what do you stand for? Not to go on Hamilton on y'all, but what do you stand for? Burr has none. Exactly. Very much Chicken George. It was annoying. Like, how can you could have taken anyone out except for Howie and Danielle, and I would have been like, okay,
Makes
I would
sense.
have been here for it because you really had no bar. I had no expectations for you. The fact that I had none for you and you went here, oh,
And the crazy thing is like, well, I'm not crazy thing is, but like, he's obviously not been a good player this whole time. But I feel like I just got to give credit to Boogie because Boogie was like, hey, I'm not letting my 2 number ones go. So I guess Boogie did his thing this time. He was like, hey, I know some people don't like that he threatened him, but fuck, he got power. I'm gonna use fucking power if you put up my people. I'm gonna let you know. So this way he was able to keep his power and he made sure how we went. So at least he gave us one of the best blindsides in Big Brother history of how we're genuinely being pissed off that he gets evicted. Oh, the Towie's eviction.
It's only a blindside because George doesn't know what he's doing and made the decision at the last second, you know?
That Sam Bledsoe
I,
sees.
I don't blame Mike Boogie for doing what he does. Like, it's Mike Boogie. Like, that. Come on, like, I don't expect much from him. I don't blame him for the move. I'm just disappointed in, like, I don't know, like, on a personal level, like, to me, Will and Mike feel like Goliath, and like Dave, he feels very much David, like serving David ant, not even human, like an ant. So it was really sad to just see him like come to that. Like, I was like, what do you stand for? What do you stand
It just
for?
proves
Like,
that he just shouldn't be an all-stars casting choice, to be
and
honest.
that is exactly what it comes down to. You don't do your homework. You're not loyal to anyone. You don't stand on business. You let yourself be pushed, pull, and everything. Like, all you serve to me is like the modern day Big Brother sound effect. Like, that's what you
Right.
serve to. And it's annoying
He
because
cleans the
it's like
house.
they might as well hire a maid. That's what I'm saying. Like, you stand for nothing. You make nothing shake. You make nothing move. You don't even vote in the minority to vote and stand in something. Like, ugh, it's annoying. It's annoying.
The more and more we talk about it, it makes me think that if they really wanted Big Brother 1 people to play this game, why not just put them on a season like 2 for 6? Because it is a different show. You could just put them on one of those seasons if you really wanted to.
True.
Yeah, I hear you.
So should we just wrap out the rest of his game?
Yeah.
Using the term game very loosely here. So yeah,
Mhm.
Boogie wins the following HOH. George is practically uninvolved. He does continue his loyalty streak to Janelle. He says, I like you. I admire how hard you work. I'm going to protect you moving forward so you can beat me in a jury vote. George is nominated as the pawn when Janelle wins the veto under the safety. Oh my gosh, this safety deal. The safety deal was, hey, we're going to nominate you and keep you safe so long as you don't target us moving forward. I don't understand the maths in this. I don't know. Georgia says, okay, I'm going to be vulnerable, and in exchange, I will give you safety. I don't get it, but again, George hasn't watched the show. However, he does stay in the house. He stays next to James because James is a much bigger threat. Moving on to this week. Oh, so Erica wins HOH. George, despite working with Erica and growing this relationship that they did on his HOH, means absolutely shit because George goes up immediately as the pawn next to Janelle. Janelle wins the veto. I'm seeing a pattern here. And Danielle is nominated next to George. George is pretty much uninvolved in this whole scenario, except when Erica is debating who should she send home very early in the week. She asks George, and he says Danielle. He didn't say anyone else. Agreed. Danielle goes home unanimously because what's the point in getting rid of George? And then towards the end of this week, Will and Boogie officially induct him into Chilltown as they have done with everyone else. And then we have the first ever double eviction in the show's history. The way we do it now, because we've had fast forwards, but this is the first time in one night during the live episode that an entire round of Big Brother is completed. Janelle wins the HOH. She nominates Erica and George for eviction. Erica wins the veto. Boogie goes up. The votes are what? Will and Janelle? Yeah. No,
two
Erica and Will. So George has no shot in staying and goes home. But just look, there's a reason why George is floating in the corner. Like he's just not involved in anything. He's
No,
just
he
like the ether.
hasn't really talked game in like 3 weeks. Says it's HOH.
No. He just kind of tells people, I would like to see you in the end.
That's what I do when I played Orgs in middle school.
And he threw the HOH he won was on accident. And that's the only time he like made a difference in the game. And by make a difference, I mean did what somebody else told him to do. So it's like, oh, come on. I don't know. I know some people find these characters charming. I'm just saying, like, as a fan of the game, I just don't. It just doesn't appeal to me personally.
Yeah, I understand.
The issue with why Chicken George has now made me angry, because I wasn't this angry going into this. I'm going to be honest. But the reason why Chicken George to me is like womp womp, like very sad sack, is because characters like that have something like loyalty to someone, or like genuinely offer something or some insight, and he's given us nothing. And even the week Danielle is in trouble, right? The Erica HOH. Can we keep in mind that through week 1 through 5 or 6 or however long, she was one of the only people who had your back? George, enough. And I think what we do here with him is that we infantilize him.
Yes, we do infantilize him.
And this is the archetype that I really hate. I hate when y'all grab a man that is pushing 50, pushing 60. This is also, I'm going into Dancing with the Stars territory, but it's true. I hate when you take a grown-ass man who has had life experiences, is pushing retirement, and y'all want to baby him like he's a child. Chicken George is not a child. You might call him immature, but he's not a child. And so it's really annoying to see that he has taken the spot of someone whose life could have literally changed even more than what it already has. You don't do your research, you do your homework. You come into the game, you don't really vote, you don't really stand with anything, you don't stand for anyone. The people who have your back, when they need you the most, you don't show up. Janelle, who has offered to put you up on the block time and time again, she's the one you're willing to go to the end with and let her win. Don't fucking piss me off. Like, you are in this house, you're eating slop for 60-something days, and you don't even want to fight to win? Like, this is so lame. Like, you are so annoying. Like, you just wasted someone's spot. You wasted our time. Did you give us comic relief? Absolutely. But when you're in that house for 24 hours and how many ever days, like, someone else could have made me laugh in your spot. Genuinely.
Do you guys have anything? It sounds like final thoughts on George, but like final thoughts on them as their legacies before we get to the ratings and wrap this up.
Danielle, the legend. Oh, you can go, Josiane.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say Danielle. She's one of the legends. She's one of the best players of all time. She's one of the best reality TV personalities in all time to me. There's a reason right now when we're in like Big Brother 28 rumors of like, is it returning? Everyone on Twitter is like, well, hopefully it's Danielle Reyes. The MLB fucking Twitter account was like, please put Danielle Reyes back on my screen.
Please.
Like, people love Danielle. She's an all-time character. And Chicken George, yeah. So that's all I gotta say. And I do have my my new era player comparison. So like I'm like only 23 and up. For Tiffany, I mean, for Danielle's a little hard. I kind of spoiled it. I guess I have to go with Tiffany just because, like, I think Danielle's a really good player. But I think specifically on this 7 game, she's loyal. It's also different with Tiffany because obviously the cookout had a bigger purpose. So, but she was at the bottom of an alliance that she was loyal to, and like her allies towards the end of the game, like specifically Tiffany, it was Kylan. Kylan kind of fucks Tiffany, and this time it kind of felt like it was James and like Erica who fuck Danielle. So that's why she goes when it felt like she had a lot of leg room and she could have potentially won the game. And Chicken George, my comparison for Chicken George is a better person than this person. He's a better individual. His comparison is probably just the crock pot. Okay, he's just like the older guy who kind of just sits there, wins a random HOH, and he makes it really far in the game, and he somehow doesn't get dragged to the final 2. Everyone's like, how is he not being dragged to the final 2? He kind of just gets sniped out of nowhere. So I think that's the comparison I got.
They kind of think that George has win equity on this season, though. They're like, oh, he's
Oh,
a sympathetic
they're lying
character if
to
it gets to the
themselves.
end.
because they baby him when he's grown as hell.
He could be Erica. He could be Erica.
Maybe best case
And
scenario.
you know
he's
what?
like
After what
OJ.
Erica did, I don't think she deserves any win. Anyways. Final thoughts. Mother Danielle, come get your body chain. Did I expect anything less from you? Absolutely not. I think Danielle's story could be summarized in this. While Big Brother is an individual game, it takes smart people to also be in the house. And unfortunately for her, there weren't that many smart people on her side. It's unfortunate what happens because I think she's right almost every single time and every single week. But we get embarrassingly women who center men and allies who like Chicken George who can't even be grateful. So I'm sorry, Queen. I'm sorry you were dealt this hand because you deserve better. And if anything, I think you merit the win. Again, you were robbed once more. But it's okay, Queen. Chicken George, going into this, I had good things to say about you. And the moment I found out that you couldn't even do your research and watch a single episode, yeah, no. You're lucky you made it this far. You're very lucky. Count your blessings. And I said what I had to say about you. Cluck, cluck. May your wings be clipped. Bye.
I'm craving chicken now. Wait a minute. Okay, ratings then. To wrap this up, Josie Ann, do you want to go first with your rating for Danielle out of 10? It's let me do it.
Oh my God, Mother. Okay. How do you guys rank it? I have to ask that question.
I'm saying specifically 7.
Specifically her BB7 game.
Okay.
No, nothing BB3 related.
Okay. This is a very good question. I think she does the Lapse of Judgment week 1. But I think the fact that she's able to recover, I think she's very smart in week 2. Week 4 is a very big week for her. Week 5, she kind of takes a little bit of a damage. I'm going to give her, but this cast is so dumb. Now I'm looking at it. Oh, I'm going to give her an 8.
An 8?
Is that too, is that crazy?
That is high.
Really?
Well, I very rarely give like above a 5 for reference.
Oh,
I don't know. Do you want to wait?
I was like 7 or 8, but whoa.
I was between a 6.5 and a 7 because, like, in the grand scheme of things, Danielle is definitely an 8 or above. Like I just think for specifically this game, I was trying to think her path there. I think I'm gonna land the 7 because I don't think her eviction is her fault. Like I think her Erica taking her out is not her fault, and like. I think when we talked about James, there was a lot of things like James did this wrong, James did this wrong. With Danielle, there's far less things that she did wrong.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm thinking about it, I'm higher on Danielle as I was going into it. I think a lot of your points you guys have raised, I do hear. Don't love that she basically got herself nominated week 1. I don't love that she allowed James to be a pawn twice where he was in real danger. I just think her massive mistake was just trusting these. Well, first of all, she had allies in Erica and Marcellus who just are useless. And then she also had allies in Will and Boogie who were always going to favor their own agenda. And I just don't think she could see past it. Like in the Vita competition on her HOH, she chucks it up to Boogie and Will being silly instead of them actually having an ulterior agenda. And I just think she puts too many eggs in that basket. So I think overall, I'm going to give 6.5. For her game on BB 7.
I'm going to give her 7.5 actually.
Okay.
Because I hear you, but I also think this cast sucks. And she's one of the only good ones, unfortunately.
I think she's at like worst the 3rd best player. Like when we get the overall thing, I think maybe I think I would have her above Janelle. Maybe there's a chance Janelle's above, but I think Chilltown's 1 and 2, and she's probably 3rd when we do just our 7 games.
I agree. Like I think she's 3rd best, if not tied with Janelle. But that's a debate we can have for an hour. So I'm just gonna cap it at that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Josie Ann, can you give me your rating for George?
0. Oh my God. Big fat goose egg 0. I think this whole podcast has said exactly why he deserves a 0.
Okay, Drake, you're up.
I'm gonna give him it's either the 1 or the 1.5, just because he does make it really far. Like he does like make it so far. I think I'm gonna give him the 1 because he made it far by doing nothing, but at least he made it to final 5. He surprised the block.
You guys are giving him a 1 for doing nothing.
But in the world of players who do stuff that's actively bad, at least Chicken George does nothing.
You
But
know,
at least they're actively trying. They're actively doing. Like,
I
I
think
can
this is
respect
the
that
lowest.
more.
I think this is the lowest ranking so far. Is Chicken George?
it probably will be. I don't even know what I'm going to give George.
A 1
He
is
made it to
super-
the end.
I think Lee and Farrell gave him like a 7. I'm joking. No, they didn't.
They gave him 2s. I think like
Oh,
I just, I just George was just he made it to final 5. I think he was always going to make it far just because he's not a threat. But
'Cause
it's
he's
not that he just isn't a threat. It's just the reality. I think they say, oh, George could win in a jury vote, maybe against Erica, but I don't understand a world where Erica takes him, and I don't think he can win the comp to take him there himself. I think he doesn't push for anything, so it's got to be low. But then again, do we value Kesa having horrible reads the entire season more, or do we value George doing nothing the entire season more? I think I have to value the attempt. So I will give George a 1.
Yeah, because it's not even like
Oh,
I said,
no,
someone like
you're not
Howie who also makes it far. Howie at least is not the most active, but he's active in his group, at least pushing what he wants within his group. Chicken George is pushing with what he wants in the DR, I guess. Like I don't know what he's doing.
I think you guys are being very nice. I think you guys are giving him a 1 because he was on season 1 when he really deserves 0 because he was nothing this season.
I think I save my zeros for people like Frenchie or like a Devin Shepard, where it's like
At least no, and here's why you guys are gonna make me sit here and defend Frenchie.
we don't gotta defend him.
Frenchie won an HOH with purpose and then did his negative big one, but at least he tried. George is
I think a 0 is like if Big Brother 9 Jacob, like that is a 0. Like
Yeah,
that.
a 0 is someone who like doesn't get to play.
Like I'm thinking a 0 is someone who's like who walked into the house and like actively destroyed everything immediately. At least you get George
in season 14 who
like Jody would get a 0 not because of anything she does, it's just because she just didn't play the game. You know
I would give Jody a 1 over Chicken George. And I'm being so fair.
That's fair, but like that's not how I would rate it. But I'm not gonna argue with
maybe
you.
I'm the bad guy. Maybe I'm the bad guy.
No,
but I still have my decision. 0.
You're not bad. It's how you rank. It's how you rank. Ain't no problem with that.
All right, but that is all we have for tonight. Thank you guys so much for podding with us. Subscribe to the Discord, you guys, if you haven't already. We're always chatting it up in there. If you want to defend Chicken George's game to us, you can in there, and we will probably respond.
When did we get the new Discord?
If you want to rage bait Josiane, you better start typing.
Don't you dare, because you will be blocked.
And if you want to see more content from Farrah and Lee specifically, you can subscribe to the Patreon. It's only $3. You get the reality where they talk about the gossip in the reality universe. We have the Kingdom's Choice where you can nominate them to talk about literally any topic of your choice. They have a bunch of Love Island content on there as well if you want to watch that. We also have the upcoming schedule. I know Drake, is the Traitors wrapping up?
Yeah, I think there's only one more drop, maybe 2, but it's been a fun season. It's been a fun ride. Shout out to the alumni from Traitors New Zealand coming into like the chats and stuff every once in a while, showing us love.
And Josiane, any of these shows you want to shout out, or any ones upcoming?
I fear I'm like in my flop era. I'm not on any of these, but I am around. So I'm on the Discord. So just come on the
You'll be here for Big Brother season, right?
Well, yes. That's
well, yes. So we'll see you then. Yes. Okay. I can't wait. But that's all we have for tonight. So thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom. We out.
Peace.
Bye.